Thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Okay then, so PDP actually, APC chieftains visited the president in the UK. And then we had a picture of the event at a breakfast table. And that sort of reassured some, but not all, because there was just a slight lull. And now we're hearing that, oh, it was photoshopped. Oh, that wasn't the president. Well, there will be the minority that are looking at it like that, but most people saw the president. Now, in fact, one governor had said, Governor Fayose in particular, that it was a fake. It was a setup. It wasn't real. What we could see before our very eyes was not real. Okay, that's the one side. Now we're hearing that PDP governors say, because it was the APC governors that went, the PDP governors say, we also will be visiting our president. It's a nice idea, indeed. We're hearing that arrangements are being made for, a group of people, inter-party, to possibly visit the president. Whether that is indeed honky-dory or not, time will tell. Well, my guest this morning, we got Honorable Ibrahim Oshinowo. He's a public affairs analyst. Thank you very, very much for coming on, Ibrahim. And my friend, Malam Ahmed Moyosore Jaji, political affairs analyst.
Good
as
morning.
always.
Yes, at all.
Thank you very much for coming on, Malam.
Thank you.
How are we going to go? Okay, first of all, your comment on the issue of we see a picture and yet people are nitpicking. I understand some people are saying if you look at one shirt, it was one inside, but when it came to the exterior shot, it was another shirt on the same person. I mean, the way this is going on, well, just give me your impression. So some might say it's infantile, some might say it's childish, some might say it's diabolical. What do you say?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it should be expected. One of the greatest philosophers of our time, Bertrand Russell, had cause to write that. You see a man with a green spectacle permanently affixed to his eyes. What do you expect him to see? He will always be seeing green. So to be cynical about the government, the presidents, whatever, should not surprise anybody. But what is there is that the substance of the matter has been left alone. You now hear Nigerians talking about the type of bottled water on the table, the banana, yeah. Well, but to God be the glory. I saw Chief Oyegun sitting very close to the president. Malam Nasir El-Rufai was also shown in the picture. Our Owele of, Okorocha was also there. So, and at the end of the day, I had cause to be joking on Twitter that, okay, you said you wanted to see the president. A picture has been shown. Now people are demanding for video. Yeah. The moment you bring out video, another demand will be made. So the demand will go on ad infinitum until demand comes back, inshallah, to this country. Yeah.
Ibrahim, some even said, a la Hollywood, maybe even Nollywood, that it was a double. That wasn't the president, it was a double. But that all of this is still going on, it's worrying. Fortunately, the president, I understand, laughed when he was asked, what do you think about all the things you hear being said about you? He just laughed it off. But it is worrying that there are these people who, I don't know what else to call it, but a campaign of calumny consistent against the president. What does that say to you all this time after the election? A lack of acceptance that President Muhammadu Buhari is indeed the president?
Thank you once again. Like Malan has rightly said, that's the beauty of democracy. I don't expect anything less. We are not practicing anarchy. We're expecting people to have one or two mindsets about the president. The third governor, of course, is a member of opposition. Is he suffering from the defeat?
Well, you're talking about Governor Fayose?
Yes, Governor Fayose of Ekiti. He's still suffering the last election, barely, at least about 2 years ago. So he's still battling with that. So I sympathize with him. about the loss of federal posts because he is one of the best beneficiaries of Jonathan administration. Despite the fact that he's not in government as at that time, he has been earning a lot of contract and subcontract to his cronies in Ekiti, while Jonathan is there. So a lot of, ambitions, a lot of programs that he has during Jonathan's time, he's still suffering from it. And I will employ Nigerians to pay more attention to Governor Fayose. He's a sitting governor. The Ekiti people has been suffering. If you go to Ekiti, you find out that he left his own.
He has enough on his plate.
Yes, he has not settled his homegrown problem in Ekiti.
Okay.
He's battling with the president who has performed beyond equilibrium within the first 2 years. The president has been hoping to Nigerians. He told Nigerians that I am not feeling fine. I want to go and take care of this. I wonder why the sitting governor, who has not been paying salaries for his teachers for years, is shifting one blame to another, battling the hate of an open president. I was at the airport on Sunday. My younger brother is going to England. Malam El-Rufai was on board BA on Sunday evening going to England.
Yes, so
I wonder what the guy His Excellency is talking about.
The visit happened. There's no doubt about
There's no doubt.
Unless you want to say that all those in the picture somehow were playing along.
There's no doubt.
And that it was the president's double. So let's leave all of that for the moment. Baby, we've noted it. We've noted that this is the comment that our detractors are making. Whereas I'm not going to go ahead and say it was a handful, but I certainly don't think they're in the majority. It's just a very vocal minority. What should be the attitude to that vein of thinking? It's hard to ignore, but perhaps we shouldn't be paying too much attention to it. What are your thoughts? The president will understand options are being weighed as to how soon he can come back and that kind of a thing. What do you think should be the attitude, rather than speaking about the Fayoses of this world and all the naysayers,
Is one beautiful thing about democracy, and it's accepted all over the place, is that minority will have their say, as they are saying now.
Yes.
And majority.
But it's uncharitable. It's an uncharitable say. It's almost like they're wishing the man not to recover.
When I was on this seat the last time I came here, there was a German saying. I said, Miasa Mia, that is, we are who we are. This is Nigeria for you. Our past leaders, they've ensured that we will never be unified through the negative instrumentality of religion, ethnicity, and lately, political leaning. Otherwise, after an election, naturally you should be disappointed. But you go and wait for another 4 years. Let the man that had been elected, let him do the job he has been elected to do. And I keep on telling people that those who made the law, they have it at the back of their minds, because the law has a spirit and the law has letters. So these are two different things. Now we are in an era of technicalities in Nigeria. Most court judgments now are not based on the reality, but technicality. Yes. Okay, the presidency is also now using technicality. There's nowhere in the Nigerian constitution that says that if the president goes out, within 4 days he must be back. Within 3 years he must be back. And that was why they made it a presidency, single presidency. When you are voting for the president, ipso facto, you are voting for it's a
joint ticket.
Joint ticket. So when the president goes away and he did the needful by writing the National Assembly or the Senate, as the case may be, that I'll be away to go and do so and so thing. Sure. My vice will take over, and the man has been doing it. So
you see, all these
what's the hula baloo about?
All these kind of utterances. Well, on the one hand, the APC governors that went, no doubt, apart from maybe a genuine feeling of solidarity with the president, also the visit would have served the purpose of just giving the lie to all the rubbish that's going on. It's a well-worn path, and we've been walking it for a while. But when PDP faults APC leaders over and governors over the handling of the president's health, another worn path, I don't know. It's like they want to keep this up. They want to keep this conversation going. There's much more to be done. The economy is there. Acting President Oshibajo, he's fully in charge. He's been doing a good job by all accounts. But you're not talking about that. You're not taking away from all of that and nitpicking, saying it's the president's double, it's Photoshop and all of that. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's almost like a national problem.
It's never a problem. Let me assure you. After the Supreme Court judgment, some of us congratulated PDP at least for finally, having their house in order. And it's expected of them to come out with what we call economically opposition. They should not go after the president. They should discuss how we recover from the recession. They should discuss how the APC government has been spending the resources of this nation in the last 24 months. They should discuss the welfare of ordinary Nigerians. They should discuss how APC took over a Sambisa forest that has not been taken care of, and we finally have our Chibok girls back and alive. They should discuss what APC is planning in the next second phase of this administration. They should discuss...
In other words, be a true opposition.
That's what I'm expecting. I discussed with some of them are my very good friends.
Well, they did say, I remember hearing in the whole flux of the Supreme Court victory that now they need to set the house in order and become exactly that, an effective opposition.
Effective opposition, not for you to go after the president. They should leave the president. I agree with what Malam has said. The presidency is one. If you are voting the president, you are voting the vice in. And once you have the vice in charge of the economy and the affairs of this nation, you should criticize the vice president of this country. Is he doing the right thing? Is he violating the constitution? Is the economy going on smoothly? Do we have oil theft? Do we have vandalization? These are what I'm expecting from my dear brother Fani Kayode and Governor Fayose. You should leave the image of the president. He's a 74-year-old man. He's expected. Even the Bible has quoted for 70. Anything after 70 is a grace of God.
Okay, now PDP
so
says...
they should come in with PDP, a strong opposition.
I think PDP has expressed a wish, a desire to be received by the president in London. Well, yeah, I guess any national who is rightly positioned can see his president, not just anybody, but I imagine, what do you think of that particular idea that, okay, the APC governors went, we too, PDP governors, we want to go?
You see, somebody said this morning, that the greatest weapon being used by the oppressor against the oppressed is the oppressed themselves. So if the PDP governors goes to see the president, no matter what they see there, you should expect the way we play our politics here. When we saw him, he was in a chair, he didn't stand up even to greet us.
But he is, in fact, interestingly, you just said, you mentioned the word chair. The Nation this morning has a headline, President not confined to a chair.
Now, if he stands up, they will still tell you that there was somebody behind him who propped him up. So it all boils down to the same thing. Anybody that doesn't want to believe what you are saying, even if he's seeing you as Yori, he will say, no, it's an effigy of Yori. So what?
In this level of ridiculousness, we're going to have to live with it.
Look at what happened to McCain in the U.S. McCain had brain cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
He stood against Obama now.
Yes.
But that didn't stop Obama from saying, hey, man, beat it.
Okay. News is the way it is. You can't squelch it. And when people of substance say these kind of things, or if enough people say it, it's all over social media because the detractors are on there, the supporters are on there. These are different times. But this, they say throw enough mud, some of it will stick. Well, this won't stick because it's not mud. It's the president is doing well. The vice president went, reported back to us. Now the governors have gone, they reported back to us, and people are still saying, no, it's not true. I suppose the government has to find a way to just push all of this out of the way so that they can focus on business, of the business that they were elected to do. And this is going to continue. Nothing we can do about it. It's a democracy, as you have said, right? Definitely. It's just that it's not the best environment in which to work, but we have to soldier on.
The party should continue to preach the good work of what the presidency is doing at the moment.
Excuse me for interrupting you. Let me bring on Mr. George, who's called in from Ikeja. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
And good morning to the guests.
Good morning.
Uncle Yori, what you are hearing or seeing, they are to be expected. The unfortunate thing in this country is that we have problems, but people are not interested to know the source of the problem and how to go about it. We have this problem of love in this country. We don't love ourselves. And if you don't love your neighbor, you can never have peace. What the PDP governors are trying to do is just a political charade. If there's anybody in the presidency that can hear me, please tell the president that he should not welcome PDP governors. Sickness is a personal thing. Is it the same governors that I think some of them are threatening that they have pictures of his life support to publish, who are openly wishing him death? Is that the same people that he wants to welcome to his sick bed? I beg, let's do away with sentiment.
Yes.
If somebody knows Mr. President, they should tell him he should not welcome those people. By the grace of the Almighty, this man will be back, and the corruption war will continue.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's what Mr. George ended on, seems to be a major plank of this hatred, because I don't know what else to call it when you wish anyone dead. And the person is saying, I'm hanging on in there. And he says, no, you're not. You're on your last leg. That has to be hatred. Right?
I would disagree with the last caller.
Which aspect?
On the president not welcoming the PDP governors
who have expressed.
The reason why I would say that, I would like to expatiate more on that. When you assume the office of president, from that point of time that you are sworn in, you don't have a political party again. You have affiliation to your political party. The president is the president of all the political parties in this country. Neither your tribe, and it has been enshrined in the constitution. The PDP governors, if they like, they should see the president 5 times in a month. They are still a member of opposition. And I can tell you, you can trust the judgment of the president on each and every one of them. Like Governor Okowa is a sound man, a medical doctor, doing very well. If you go to Seraki Disin, doing very well. Ben Ayade, doing very fantastically. They are member of opposition. But that does not mean that because you have one bad egg among them, you have to quash all the governors. So the president, as the commander-in-chief of Federal Republic of Nigeria at the moment, needs to welcome them, hear what they have, issues about their states. They might have 1 or 2 issues, like Anambra now. They have erosion issue. The president will welcome Willie Obiano to discuss national issues.
You see,
so it's not about sickness.
I hear you, and I understand. I understand it when you say that. But there are certain other aspects. It's one thing to be in political opposition. It's another thing to be a political maybe adversary. Now it's a completely different thing to be a political enemy.
In politics, I can assure you, you just need a simple majority. You cannot get 100% people who is going to like Yori for what he's doing. Some people will tell you, I don't like his presentation.
I don't even like his face.
I don't even like his too black.
Yeah, that goes on. But when we raise this to the national level, let me hear from Mr. Ishak in Jos. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
And good morning to your guest. I'm Ishak Iwaima. I'm calling from Jos. Mr. Yori, President Buhari is President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if PDP governors have decided to visit him, well, anyway, I hope their intention is good. If they decided to visit him, I think it's a welcome development. I see no reason why President shouldn't receive them. So that, I think, as the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, but the illness of Mr. President is raising more questions than answer. And this visitation by all these governors and party leaders is costing Nigerian taxpayers money. And the presidential jet that was set to park in the airport in London, we understand that it's costing Nigerian humongous millions. And all these visitations, because I believe all these governors visiting Mr. President will never use their personal money for these visitations. They will collect a stockhold and collect several millions of naira for these visitations. So I think, and this year 2017 budget, over 3 billion naira was said to have voted for ASO Rock Clinic. So I think Mr. President being an agent of change. As soon as he comes back, I will want Mr. President to quickly seize our hospitals so that there will not be any reason for any public officials, especially those in the high places, to be visiting abroad or every now and then. So I want to appeal to the handlers of Mr. President. As soon as we come back, they should see how the treatment can be handled here in the country, maybe in the National Hospital or also Rock Prison. That is like it. That's the one.
Thank you. Thank you.
I tend to laugh when I hear people talking about how much the president is spending on his treatment abroad. For God's sake, Yoruba, we call people like that Omo Ojoba. And when you say Omo Ojoba, that means it's the property of the government. Whatever happens to him, the government must
take word of the state.
You know, the government must take care of it. But there's one fundamental issue Nigerians are overlooking. That is the multicolored nature of Nigeria as a nation and the kind of adversarial politics we play. I could remember when Obasanjo was voted in 1999, and there was this rumor that he had been killed. I can remember the kind of problem we had in the Southwest. Even if as at that time, the Southwest didn't vote for him. So we need to be very, very careful. Who killed Ide Agbon? How did he die? How did Abiola die? Up to today, nobody has been able to tell us. And I can imagine a president being treated in Aso Rock by a doctor who is a specialist from maybe Yoruba land or Igbo land or Shekiri, and something goes wrong. The same ethnocentric consideration will be given to that. So if he goes out to neutral people, let them do whatever they want to do with him and bring him back.
You mean one almost can't believe this, but I fear that there's a lot of truth in what you're saying. This is the situation we have on our hands. Clement in Alimosho, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, sir. I want to contribute to the issue of grants. What I really felt is that I disagree with your guest. If you said, as a president, is the president of the whole Nigeria, not APC or other political party.
Yes.
The PDP governor has the right to visit the president wherever the president is. They have the right because they're the president of all.
Yes.
Then another thing.
Yes.
And
by the way, Clement,
to this Senate, United States of America, the senator that was having brain tumor. At least our president, our president, in this situation, they can be able to televise it for the whole Nigeria to see. These are our president. There's nothing to hide over.
Sure, Clement.
Everybody can face sick. Everybody can face sick. They can be able to televise it for the whole Nigeria to see.
Sure, Clement.
Because Nigeria, let me tell you something. Nigeria, our fear is this. We have experienced it once.
Yeah, but Clement. Clement, are you there?
Yes, I'm still with you.
I don't know if you have any thoughts on the whole question about the president's right to privacy.
Yes, I'm with you.
Privacy, yes.
Did you hear me? I wonder if you have any thoughts on the notion of the president's also having a right to personal privacy.
Has a right for his own privacy.
Mm-hmm. This one is wasting time.
Yes, the president has a right to his own privacy. But the Nigeria that voted him on power have the right to know the welfare of the president that they voted for.
Yes, and we're told that he's doing well. He's recovering. He's going to be back in due course.
You telling me that he's doing well. We should be able to see. This is our president. Address us. The last video call we hear from our president, it was a video call. It should be a telly.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Clement. I took your point. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate everything that you've said. Okay, yeah, he does concern that the president has a right to privacy, but there's a but in this case. Well, what do you think about the notion also that some critics are saying that, especially the PDP, it's in one of the papers this morning, not that this is the first time, faults APC, leaders, not to mention officials in the presidency, for the way they've handled the whole matter of the president's illness, which anybody can fall ill anyway. But do you see anything in that, or do you think those guys, the presidency and everybody else concerned that wishes the president well, are actually between a rock and a hard place?
I wonder what they mean by those guys in the presidency, the way they handle presidency.
That, yes.
I still don't understand what they actually
mean
by
criticizing
those guys. There have always been people in the presidency when Yar'Adua is there. When President Jonathan is there, there's always people in the presidency. And they are political. They are not members of any. Most of them who are even working with the president, they are civil servants. And I want to correct the last caller. I have never for once said PDP should not visit the president. I stated that the president is the commander-in-chief of armed forces, and PDP governors has the right to visit the president. I agree with you the other time that the party as a whole, the PDP, has never wished the president anything bad. It's an independent opinion of Governor Fayose and his cronies wishing the president so bad. So, or Wike, we've never, the PDP as a body, it's expected of them to make themselves relevant. Those things that they've not been able to do in the last 16 years, we are unveiling, doing new things, breaking new grounds for the government. In terms of, I've laid down different things about the security of this country, the economy, coming back from the recession they created. We are coming back, going into industrial revolution.
I mean,
and all
is
that.
the APC highlighting these things enough? Because
that is where
let me quickly bring in.
I'm
sorry, I got to take in Ugochukwu. Ugochukwu is watching in Ghana, Accra, Ghana. Good morning, Ugo.
Yeah, every presenter. Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
And good morning, your guest over there. Yeah, I so much like the conversation. The issue about PDP so visiting President Buhari. Yes, I will say that is an welcome development. If they want to go and visit him, he's the president of all. They can go and visit him. If he is falling sick, and is a property of Nigeria. The young man there, he said that he has every right to go abroad and treat himself. Yes, likewise, because he's a president of Nigeria. Nigeria is supposed to know the state of his health, not to telling people that he's recovering. No. During Yar'Adua time, do you recall that Buhari was in opposition party? He is the one that said that Yar'Adua should resign. And you see, whatever goes up must come down. Water can never climb mountain. Rather, it will come down from the mountain.
Good.
Nature made it like that. So now, the same thing he referred to Yar'Adua now. Look at his situation.
Okay,
you understand?
I hear you. Thank you very much, Mr. Ugochukwu. I take that, but I got to go on a quick break. Hold your gunpowder dry. I'll be right back, and Moyo, I'll give it to you. Stay with us, please. Okay, welcome back. PDP governors, according to some reports, would also like to visit the president on the heels of APC governors are visiting the president. But I suppose they're going to have to wait for the invitation. It's one, if you visit, yeah. How are you going to visit? You're going to barge in, or you're going to wait for an invitation and then accept the invitation? But Ugochukwu was the last guy that called in from Accra in Ghana. He had his points. I saw that you wanted to get him, Moyo.
No, it's just that I would say, 10 years or 10 years, Accra, Mr.
What language is that?
That's Ghana.
Say it again.
There you
go.
How are you this morning in Accra?
Okay.
So what I want to say in essence is that Ugochukwu is contradicting an average Ghanaian. It's true, I'm a young man. In Ghana, I'm a young man.
Okay, that point, when he said the young man there,
yes, I'm a young
with your
man.
grey beard.
No, in Ghana, there's no old people.
Kosarugbo Ghana.
Kosarugbo Ghana.
Okay.
So, to that extent, thank you very much. But to the nitty-gritty of the issue at stake, you see, if the PDP is making noise now, I don't blame them. Because APC as a party...
not making noise as they being an opposition party.
No, APC as a party is fighting itself. That's why we say we have centrifugal forces within the APC that are prepared to tear APC apart. Otherwise, the APC of before the general election, we knew how strong and powerful and effective the information unit was, though people call it propaganda. But this time around, people have lost interest in anything. Whatever you want, make una dey do. Otherwise, we were in this same country when Yaradua was sick. He was in Saudi Arabia, and we were told that the president could rule from anywhere in the world.
There you go. I remember that.
Everything didn't fall.
Yes. But
what we are saying is that those who crafted this constitution envisaged this kind of problem. That was why they said, if you are a presidential candidate, you must have a deputy. In case anything goes wrong with you. Now, what is baffling me now is that the regional balance, when you have a president from the north, you have a vice president from the south. Is it written in our constitution? Because most of the problems, most of the jostlings we are having in Nigeria today is centered around, in case, may God forbid it, may Allah forbid it, if Buhari is unable to perform the duties of a president,
then a man from the south
will take over, and there will be a repeat program of when Jonathan, you know.
So now, those are things that are not said quite openly. But there you go. You said it.
To make everybody understand what
these are some of the issues behind all of this matter. Ghana, our signals must be very, very good in Ghana because Maxwell is called in from Tema in Ghana. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much for calling in, sir. Just Yori. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I think with the little knowledge I have about retired General Muhammad Buhari, I worked with this man when I was a serving military personnel as well. He doesn't give a damn of what anybody says about him. He's a very principled man, and he does his things according to his own self-conviction. And as I'm talking to you now, in our Sorok, when Abiola died, nobody knows how he died. And the conspiracy theory surrounding Abiola's death has not been revealed today. There are so many deaths like that. Yakasi was also involved, and we knew this thing because we were in the system when it happened. So anybody that doesn't like you, despite that Buhari is the president of all, yes, I quite agree. I know that people are, castigating him for, most of the policies that man has introduced into Nigeria. If not that that man came with the help of the vast majority of Nigerians to vote him in, there are so many things, revolutions that are happening in Nigeria today that no one will ever hear or, read about in the papers. They will be swept under the carpet. And this man has brought in that in the country. So there are so many people that will not even like his style of ruling. And I believe, despite that I'm from the southern part of this country of Nigeria, residence in Ghana, I believe that this man has a very good, intention for Nigerians and that country. I don't care whatever, what happens. But what I know, what I want to see in Nigeria is the rule of law, where everybody will be equal according to the grand norm of our nation. That is my own period.
Thank you very much for calling in, Maxwell from Ghana. Appreciate your call. And that, again, is hitting it right on the head. This level of animosity, it certainly has to do with what President Buhari has brought onto the governance space and the revelations, shall we say, the exposures. The exposures have
very,
been
very embarrassing.
humongous.
To the
It
looters.
never has happened in this country before, and in that sense, you remember that whole thing about corruption fighting back. I suppose there are those who could be forgiven for thinking that this definitely must be what they're talking about when they say corruption's fighting back. Because Maxwell made the case so succinctly that, look, as far as Maxwell is concerned, he's doing great. He's gone where nobody has gone before as a president in this country. And in that sense, he's probably broken a quote-unquote taboo of, the coven or whatever it is you want to call them. Would you agree with that, Moyo?
I totally agree with it because, I had the privilege of addressing a select crowd some time ago, and I told them that, look, the opposition would like Nigerians to believe that President Buhari and APC have not done anything. But when you are doing the analysis of these things, there's something we call intrinsic and extrinsic. Now, this is an economy, this is a country that has been traumatized for the past 16 years. And people are we knew what Jonathan did before the election, when he got to Lagos, when dollar became our national currency. What was the implication of that?
Exactly. So, but these are some, sorry, let me bring in Dele from Aja. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'd like to say that PDP should be careful with all these conspiracy theories historically that has been in the system. What if the PDP governors go there and 2 days, 3 days later, something happens to the president's health? Would they not be shooting themselves in the foot?
Okay. Thank you, Dele. Short and sharp. But, it's an interesting angle that he brings in. But from all reports we hear, the president is on the way to mending.
I was telling people that if nothing happens during the course of Buhari's regime for the 4 years, the fact that he has been able to expose the depravity, debauchery, some people, expose this country to, is enough for somebody like me. Because something that was...
For a lot of people.
For something that took some Buccaneers 16 years to perpetrate, you expect somebody to now do it within 2 years, 4 years, and you get El Dorado. Let us suffer for now, so that we can assure the future of our children and not yet unborn. Britain is what it is today. I was in America recently, and I was amazed that they could build a bridge that has 8 lanes, 4 lanes going this way, 4 lanes coming this way. And here, somebody will just give you a third road of 1 kilometer. You'll be clapping for him. Why are you clapping for him? That is what he is supposed to have done, and he was even supposed to have done it better. But will the system allow it?
Let me bring in Mr. Mohammed, calling in from Ikeja. Good morning, sir. Mr. Mohammed.
Yes, please.
We're waiting for you, sir. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Please, my regards and my greetings go to the gentleman there with you. Are you hearing me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Please continue.
All right, okay, please. But there is one thing I want to say. Why is it that we Nigerians, we don't learn to respect our leaders? If the president is in London for treatment, why is it that we don't accord the same respect we accord President Buhari on treatment to Osinbajo, who is now the acting president, please? And why is it that it is the same we elect people, at the same time it is the same again, that we try to criticize people? And if we are taking example of US and taking their system, they should look at Roosevelt Franklin. He was on wheelchair and he ruled America. So please, we Nigerians, we should just learn how to respect our leaders. Leave Buhari for his treatment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's what most right-thinking members of society think, I would guess. But there still are those who will not leave this matter alone. We're out of the campaign. The election is over. Governance is in earnest. but people are still carrying on as if they're in the campaign mold. And I guess they're going to have to live with it. We're all going to have to live with this. The only thing I imagine is that the whole APC government, the whole government, just has to find a way to put blinkers on, because it's now apparent that whatever they do, whatever they say, the naysayers will say it is not true. So they've got to keep, I imagine. Is that your thoughts too, that we just need blinkers here?
Yes, that's how it's going to be in the next coming 24 months or so. If you look at what has been happening even before their Supreme Court judgment at the future of McCarthy, they've not been having a concrete and steady, political statement when it comes to opposition game. But now that they have their house partially in order, they want to come out in the flying colors, and where they can start that will attract Nigerians is to start from the president.
Okay.
That's where they can start.
Well, that is the seeking to visit the president. Yes. We don't know if the president has extended an invitation to them.
I don't. The same process APC governor.
Do they know that process?
Of course, they are colleagues.
It's national security advisor that organized that of.
They are colleagues.
Those who went, and I'm sure the same thing. But my fear now is that, hey, Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, make you build a repeat program of how our money got frittered away through the money meant for purchase of arms. That the likes of Fani Kayode, that is so garrulous now, is alleged to be holding on to 840 million naira, which he has not done. And if we have a government that is after, but I can't even blame the government again, because President Buhari himself had cause to complain that the greatest stumbling block to his fight against corruption is the judiciary.
Yeah. And
in a judiciary where somebody will steal 200 million naira, you now find the person 100,000 naira and tell him to go and sin no more. In a judiciary where somebody will steal 25 billion naira, you now find the fellow 750 naira and he opened the boot of his car. So we should listen.
I want us to be.
We should listen very well.
Malam, I want us to be a little bit careful when we.
Can I come back so that I can take that caution in full? Because Yakub is holding on. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate the two guys I talked to the studio this morning, especially the Malam Jaji. Malam Jaji always spoke as a true political, APC member. You see, it is APC that gives room for all this. Reason being that I listened to former Speaker House of Representatives, Gali Umar Nahaba, on one of the sisters' stations last time. He made us to know that he can never even remember when the APC hold a caucus meeting. For a station whereby somebody like him and other like Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the rest of them will meet to discuss the way forward about the party and the Nigerians in general. See, PDP governor, they have right to say that they want to go and visit President Muhammadu Buhari. Yes, because he's a father of the nation. But I can tell you, Shibari, not everybody that goes to London as at now, they are willing the president's way. I can tell you that because some of them and their political associates, they have a lot of things. Even for the father, some of them, they cannot even willing that President Muhammadu Buhari should come back. Malam Jadi said something earlier. For me, I'm pleased that President Muhammadu Buhari can be able to expose all these political thieves to ask Nigeria to know who they are. But for the fact that some of the people go to court and then they get court injunction and that they should be naming them. I wish the government go ahead and name them so that we can be able to know these people. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Well, I don't know about, acting President Osinbajo, as you are saying, speaking in any particular length about treatments that he is receiving. I imagine the gentleman has the, mien of, it's the kitchen. You can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So he's in there, he knows, and he's going to, keep his head down, not be distracted, I imagine. That is the nature of the man, a very focused person. He's doing well. You would have thought that opposition will concentrate on what he is doing or not doing, because he's the authority in charge now. You know, so they would, apparently they would like to distract, but I don't think they're going to get any traction there, not from the reputation we hear the vice president and now acting president
Not at all. I'm not sure Professor Yemi Osinbajo is bothered about what they're doing. If you recall his visit to Ekiti, Fauci said he has so much respect for the acting president, that he loves him so much more than the president. And I would like to correct some impression about the judiciary. I can tell you that we have one of the best and fantastic judicial systems in Africa and around the world.
Yeah, but the president did say that it was his main concern earlier on.
The president,
and I
if
cited
you look
examples.
at the text of that conversation, the president does not allege the whole judicial system of this country.
Nobody
a portion
said that.
of them can be.
It just takes one apple. It just takes one rotten apple.
Just one of them. And I can tell you, both those bad eggs has been fished out, and we still have some within the judiciary.
Okay.
But the leadership of the judiciary presently, they are doing fantastically well, and I can assure you, we are giving judges to other neighboring countries. I don't know.
Exactly. So this is one of the more frustrating things, because you would think that opposition will be talking about maybe Osinbajo's performance, maybe the economy's performance.
That's what I said earlier. They should be talking about what he's doing. They should not
because these are the more important things that affect our life, and Osinbajo is in charge because he has been put in charge by his boss. Now we're not facing that. You're facing whether he's on life support, whether he's in a wheelchair.
Some of them are saying that.
Let me take Femi from Lugbe in Abuja. Good morning. Mr. Femi in Abuja, good morning, sir. Did we lose you already? Femi, Lugbe, Abuja.
Hello?
Oh. Go on, please. We're waiting for you.
Hello? Hello?
Are you watching television? I'm saying that I can hear you.
Good morning. Nice to be with you.
Thank you very much.
This is a very interesting program.
Okay.
You see, there is an issue that remains to be very, very alarming on the absence of Buhari. One, if it was true that the APC governors... Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Hello? I can see you waving. I can see you waving me. I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You see, this is an interesting program. But the alarming question on this issue is, if it is true that Buhari is aware and the APC governor visited him, I think this thing ought to be, it ought to be shown. I'm seeing you.
It's all right then. Thank you very much. I understand what is happening there. Femi, the delay that I spoke about, Femi didn't hear when I said, look, when you get through, please just keep on talking. Don't worry about whether or not we are hearing you. We are hearing you. But because of the delay, it's going to mess up the conversation. Because when I say it now, you're not going to hear it for another maybe 4 or 5 seconds. And that wreaks havoc with the conversation. So please, other people that get in on a decoder, from upcountry especially, just start talking once we put you on. The point, you see, there ago, when Femi was speaking, I don't understand it when he said, if it was true, if it is true. This is a problem. When you start a sentence with if it is true, that evidence was prior provided for. You have a picture. And then we Nigerians are still saying if it is true. Mr. Adeshina in Ojo, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling. Good morning.
Uncle Yori, it's unfortunate that we politicize everything in Nigeria, even when it comes to the issue of life. And good morning again, please, to your guests in the studio. Uncle Yori, you see, I want you to do me a favor in this your studio, that those who are cynical about the issue about the president, we should try to downplay and bring it to public discourse. We should be able to draw non-essentials from essential issues. Now, before I watch your studio, I look at the issue of flood, in the analysis of flood in Lagos and in the country as a whole. when I was looking at the catalog, the analysis of how 200 people died of flood in 2012, there are so many pressing issues that we need to talk about and that we need to make us all go to develop. Not if the president, the best thing we can do is to pray for him and we wish him well. All those who are criticizing, they see him on WeShare, they see him that if they see the president, what are they going to do? The only best thing you can do for the president is to pray for him. When you pray for him, God knows that from your heart, you don't wish him there. Anybody can fall sick. A child can fall sick. Anybody can fall sick. So we politicize everything.
Sure.
Now, all these people saying they want to see the president, maybe he should show us on TV. What is their business for him to show them on TV? If I have on the president that the president is well, I take it. I don't need to argue. I don't need to discuss it. I'm just wishing that the president gets well and come back and continue his work.
Yes.
And so we should try to differentiate between non-essential and essential in this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for calling in. I really appreciate your call. Indeed, we have to find a way to cleave between the essential and the non-essential.
But you see,
we've completely run out of time, so very, very briefly,
this
please.
program is anchored on what the papers are printing.
No, it's not. It's what's in the news and whatever else is current affairs.
So, like I saw a clip or pictures of flood ravaged areas of Port Harcourt yesterday.
Sure.
The same thing happened in Surulere.
And we're giving that all the attention it deserves because there are different programs specialized for different
such things.
Yes.
And as such, but the president is the heartbeat
of the nation, so to speak.
He has the whole country as his constituency. So whatever happens to him,
it's going to
be of paramount importance to an average Nigerian.
It will get national attention.
But we need to, clear some cobwebs.
Sure.
Which I'm sure we've been able to clear some this morning.
We've run out of time. All I have left is the time to say to Honorable Ibrahim Oshinowo, thank you very much for coming.
Always welcome, Mr.
Indeed. And thank you very much, Malam Ahmed Moyosore Jaji, our political affairs analyst. That's our program today.